when it comes to genres of games, and I'm too stubborn and snobby to give anything a chance, really. That's not true. I tried Dead Cells.
Yeah, and you beat Dead Cells, right?
Yeah, about 16 hours.
Yeah.
I had to. Can't let that game. can't let $16 go to waste. You kidding me? That's a lot of money.
Whoopsies.
I was gonna say we're doing it again. Okay, let's do this.
I pulled the wrong lever.
Dan, could you also have a word with your son because he was stepping on the intro?
Yeah, no, he got very excited by the intro. He can't hear it. He just thought, I'm going to shout and scream.
Yeah, and now for some reason our names are showing up on the Zoom, and usually it goes away, but it won't go away this time. So now I got to figure that out while we figure out our intro.
Yes, hello. Good morning, good evening, good night. No, that's Tim the Tatman's thing, who did a video where he spectated a cheat in Warzone who had a 105 kill death ratio.
Oh my god, I saw that. That was ridiculous.
And they weren't banned.
Yeah.
Well done, Activision. I know you've got some other stuff going on right now, but surely you can figure out that someone who's got a 105 kill death ratio in an online multiplayer game is cheating.
There's a joke there, but I'm not going to say it.
We are Pixel Pints. We are the only global podcast that talks about two things that we enjoy, which is good beer and video games. We're not here to promote drinking. Please drink responsibly. Please play games responsibly as well. Thank you, Thomas, for agreeing with me. Anything else? Follow us on the social medias. We are Pixel Pints Pod on Instagram, where I mainly post short clips of me winning matches in Apex Legends. Don't worry, Evan, I'm not going to try and convince you to play Apex Legends.
That's good.
But my most recent pick is of one of the opening scenes in Hades, which we'll get onto later on in the show. You can also follow us at Pixel_Pints on Twitter. And then you can watch the archives of these shows on YouTube, like I do. So we get at least one view.
I think we get more than one view. There's at least 4 people out there that watch us, for sure.
Actually, we
and
average,
that one
average
weird guy that just like gives hot comments about Evan.
We got pulled into a joke, like a knock joke, didn't we? That one time, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, you gotta sign Tom up to Twitch so we can get 5 people that watch us. Just create a.
Here, just put him in front of it, and he won't mind what we're talking about. Right, Evan, how are things in Japan?
Good. It's been raining for 3 days straight, although it has cooled off.
Are you pleased that all of the filthy infected COVID-carrying foreigners have now gone back to their countries of origin?
Oh, God, yeah.
But you've got the Paralympics now, so a load more filthy infected foreigners carrying COVID are in Japan.
Yeah, my friend was at a restaurant in Okayama, already on a prefecture. How close? 5 minutes in? And there was a Paralympian in the restaurant with them.
Wow.
And yeah, that's a good story. I'm fine. Saturday, played about 9 hours of Axiom Verge already, Axiom Verge 2, and yeah, things are going great.
Good. Mitch, how's things in LA?
Okay, I accidentally hid myself on Zoom. Sorry, I'm gonna pop myself back on here somehow.
If you want to hide yourself, you do you.
I just saw what's going on.
I'm trying to get rid of the names. It's nearly impossible. I looked this up. I feel like we need to redo this intro.
At least our names aren't like our email addresses or something.
Yeah, but some of you, it's your full names. I don't know if you guys like
Mine
that
was.
on for everybody.
Mine was. And the minute he said that, I was like, I'm going to change it. And I deleted it and changed it to like my name.
I always change it before we go live.
I forgot. And then I realized when he said that, I was like, damn it.
Oh, here we go. Okay, oh shoot. Now I changed the order. Oh no, Keith, you're in the wrong spot.
No, it's fine. I'm still
Oh, there we
looking
go.
down on people.
Now
Oh,
we're
no,
back.
I'm in the right spot. That was right. I'm
Yeah.
always on left. I'm good. It's hot in LA. It's just hot crazy. And also, people notice I'm now looking this way sometimes. It's because I got 2 monitors. So now I have a monitor right here, and that's why I'm playing with more things, more buttons, more gizmos, more gadgets, and that's why I screwed up the intro. So I
I've
apologize.
got 2 monitors, flash bastard.
I almost have 3, but I don't have the space for the 3rd one.
Right, Matt, how's your water conservation going on in Las Vegas?
Password swordfish. That's all I have to say. Not too bad. It's actually been fairly cool here. It's been what, 38 C around
Nice and
about
cool.
there. Yeah. So not too bad. Looking forward to convincing Evan to play some games. I was just going through my list, and I think I got quite the roster here.
And Dan, how's things with Dan in Danland?
Good. I am just got back from Ireland for 2 weeks. It was interesting to be traveling. Ireland is a lot more strict than Britain, probably for a good reason. So it probably wasn't the Irish experience that probably would have had pre-COVID, but it was still good fun. We went to Dublin, Galway, and then up to the west coast to where my wife's family's from. It was nice, yeah. Well, luckily, rained most days, but every afternoon it was bright blue sunshine and pretty warm, so it was good.
Nice. Right, moving on. Evan's got a beer. Does anyone else have beers that they want to talk about?
Nothing special. Same old, same old. My daily drinker, or my daily driver.
Old
And
Tasso's
just
gonna
a-
like that.
just to point out, Matt doesn't actually drink Pabst Blue Ribbon every day. He's not got a problem.
I think this should be a new thing.
Responsibly.
I will have the lunchbox, and you don't know what's in it.
Okay.
Because I want my
And
beer
then
to be
you-
cold, so it's cold. But I have another beer. I did one last week. I don't know if you watched last week's episode, Keith.
Also watched last week's episode.
Okay, so do you know what kind of beer I had last week?
You had a blonde beer.
Yep, do you know what location it's from?
Santa Monica.
Correct. I have a Santa Monica beer again, except this time I have the...
Don't test the Quizmaster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got his memory is too good.
Oh,
I
it
tell
did-
him things. He's like,
I'm
"Where
waiting
did
for all
you
those
said that?"
answers.
Quizmaster,
Mitch
you
was
ready
not
for this?
expecting that.
Where did I spill my beer last week?
Over your microphone.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you do watch the show. Okay,
3 for 3.
so it's Santa
And then you
Monica.
spent about 3 hours talking about Resident Evil remakes and remasters.
I
That
did.
was the whole thing, wasn't
It was great. It was a great show. So it's a citrus, a wit beer, except it's spelt funny. But anyways, it's a wheat ale with orange peel and coriander. And then it's
I think you might like that.
and it's
yeah.
5.3 on the volume.
Your scale.
Yeah.
it? I find with those, they kind of tread a fine line for me. Because I've had some Belgian beers that are flavoured with orange and coriander, and they've been quite nice. And then I've had some ones from the UK that have just been very disgusting.
For me, it's the chalky.
Oh, okay.
That's where I draw the line. If it's too chalky, I can't do it.
So here's the description. It goes, "We are Santa Monica's first and only craft brewery." That was the last one. "We brew California-inspired beers for those who live the beach brew lifestyle. Our bright and zesty, oh my gosh, Belgian style. Wow, I can't read tonight. It is 1:00 in the morning, or 12:30. Wheat ale is brewed with a real orange peel and a hint of coriander." So hopefully, my microphone is back further, so I can do a good pour this time. But got. Oh, I'm gonna move my phone.
The beer ASMR with the baby crying in the background. Love it.
I'm scared when you do this.
Right? The stream just craps out. Oh, solid pour.
Solid pour from a Wisconsin man. That's how we do it. This one's much hazier than the last one.
It looks much darker than a wheat beer should be, but I'm guessing that's just because of the lighting.
Nah, I have direct light on it. Like I have 2 lights up here. That's
Okay.
direct light. So it is dark. Way darker than it's darker than the last beer I had last week. Weird. How do,
Have you ever tried anything like that before?
Yeah, the
no,
fruity beer
no, this is my
before.
first time trying this kind of
Yeah,
beer.
it is
Yeah, it's a strange experience, but I like it.
In all honesty, if I don't mind having a wheat beer during a night out, but I can only have one before I need to move on to a different style.
Yeah, this one I feel like
Very particular
I took out
flavors.
2 cans and I feel like I should only drink one. I might just go grab the other one and drink another can of the other one.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not Burkoff, when you said chalky, it is kind of chalky, especially at the aftertaste. I expected a lot more citrus. I'm not getting the citrus.
So the ones that do have like more of the citrus, like juicy mouthfeel, those are the ones I like.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I'm getting way more wheat, if anything.
Yeah.
And it's not okay. Now I kind of taste the hint of the orange, but it's not as strong as like in some other beers I've had that has some citrus in it.
Right.
And I prefer those too. So I would go between this one and the blonde I had last week. I would go with the blonde. Blonde's much better.
So what you'll see a lot is instead of them brewing it with the orange or grapefruit, you'll have just a wheat beer with like a slice of orange.
Yeah, I feel like that's what this one
Contentious,
would be.
depending on who you ask, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
But you're right. You do see that they do offer orange slice on like a Blue Moon, which is
Right.
mass-produced wheat beer.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a huge fan. I'll try, like Evan, I'll try one, and then that one will probably be enough for me.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
I have a Red Bull in my bag too, so I just might drink that instead.
Yeah, that will get rid of the flavour if you don't like it.
And it is
Yes.
citrusy. That
If
one is
anything,
like
will.
a watermelon, so it's gonna really go after it.
All right, so I am drinking a Pango IPA from Dig the Line Brewery in Sweden. So
I thought you were in Japan.
yeah, right. I think you can guess what might be in this IPA.
Pango Mango.
This is
Kiwi,
this
mango,
is a
and
McWomble
pineapple.
special here. Yeah, we have wheat, oats, mango, passion fruit, pineapple, and hops. I've never even heard of this brewery, but there's a newish place that opened up a couple blocks away, and they sell some beer for way too much money. This is the first time having it, and as you can see, that is some juicy, hazy stuff. If this would have said this is a hazy IPA or a New England IPA, I wouldn't have thought otherwise, because it is really, really hazy. It is similar to a New England IPA. It's just really, really juicy, tropical, but like any good IPA, yeah, it has that nice bite of bitterness. Doesn't linger as long as some of the other heavier IPAs or the proper sesh beers that I usually have. But this is good. I'd probably have 2 of these. I will say, final note. It's only 5.9%. That would be slightly misleading. I wouldn't think this beer would be under 6%, but yeah, this is a really flavorful beer. I really, really like it. It doesn't taste like you're biting into a pineapple or a mango or anything. It's more the aroma, and then you get into like the proper malt hops balance of an IPA. So yeah, this is good. Dig the Line Brewery from Sweden.
Right, and last night, because I don't drink at 8 o'clock in the morning, I had this Belhaven 80 shilling. Belhaven, famous brewery in Edinburgh, and the 80 shilling refers to the wholesale price of the barrel.
Nice.
So, and because the 80 shilling was like the top end. So you can get 60 shilling, and I can't remember which other ones you can get as well. Various different breweries do different shilling beers, but this one would use the well, it's just a traditional dark ale. It's not. It's more like it's a brown ale. It's not particularly strong. It's only 3.9%, but really malty because it's a bit hard to grow hops in Scotland.
I feel like the Belhavens that we have here. I don't know what styles they have, but they're always that rich malty dark, and they're at least here they're labeled Scotch ales. I don't know if that's because of the barrels.
They wouldn't do that here because people know that it's
from Scotland.
From Scotland.
They sell a couple varieties of Belhaven here. The Wee Heavy I've had, which is good. I wouldn't mind trying that because the stuff that they have at my local is like the heavier stuff. Like Wee Heavy or Scotch ale is pretty high in alcohol, if I remember. So it'd be interesting to try some other stuff they've had. I think I've only ever seen 4 styles at the supermarket.
Yeah, this is very, very easy drinking. It's what I describe as a proper sesh beer, but it's
that
not
is a proper sesh beer. Yeah.
Right. Shall we move on to try and convince
Well, I
Evan
have
to
some
play?
things.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Dan.
It's all right. They're all beer related things.
I just forgot who you were for a moment because you've not been around for a while.
So I got this dimple glass from the Guinness factory.
Dimple pint glass.
Yeah, because I'm a sucker for a gift shop.
Yeah.
I also got these beer mats. Or
the old school advertisements for Guinness.
Yeah,
I've always liked those.
Which
posters.
They're old school to us, but they are everywhere in Ireland. Every single pub you go past, they have these advertising. And my favourite one, which I got as a oven glove and a tea cozy. Let's see, read that.
A woman needs a man like a
professional.
So I thought that was my favourite one of all the advertising. But yeah, that was. And beer wise, I have been drinking a lot of Hop House 13. I don't have a picture because I'm very unprepared. Very nice. It's Guinness's attempt of lager, which is interesting. Very good. More flavourful than normal lager. At that point, I'm going to mute.
The baby's like, you're talking too long, Dad.
And shock horror, I've actually found a Brewdog beer that I actually like.
I thought you liked a lot of their beers.
No. It's their Lost Lager. Okay. It's very good. Not as Hop House.
You've had what, like 20 of their styles? Like everything they come out with, you'd fucking try it.
I'll try it and then find ones that I actually might like. But yeah, the Lost Lager is very good. Not as good as the Hop House, but I can't find Hop House at the moment. Thanks, Brexit. Yeah, so I won't get into that. Right. So we are going to try and convince Evan to play some games that he's not played before. We may or may not have played them, but I thought it's always fun to try and convince Evan to play different things because, as he said before we went live, he's turned into a bit of a snob when it comes to different genres that he will or will not play. Evan, would you like to take us through?
Sure. So basically, while I'm alone by myself playing these single players games, a lot of this crew are behind the scenes or, not on the podcast, playing lots of multiplayer stuff or engaging in games together. And I'm on my lonesome because I poo-poo lots of genres. And over the years, I've the span of the types of games I play has shrunk considerably. And over the past couple of years, I have realized that I've become very picky when it comes to the genres of games I play. So just to give people an idea of the things I don't like to play, because of Dead Cells, as we've been talking about in the Discord chat, I don't like roguelites. I tried really hard. I beat the game. I put in the time. I gave it a fair shake, and I don't like those games. Driving games. I like Burnout 3 because you could do the crash mode. Other than that, I just don't care to drive in a game. I love actual driving, driven all over the states. But driving in a video game, I don't like. What else? Strategy games, I don't care for. Tactics games, I don't care for. RTSs, I don't play. Anything that has a cursor where you highlight units and like get out of here. I'll puke you. Fighting games, I don't care for. And when I say things shrank, like I would play Bloody Roar. The Bloody Roar series is actually pretty decent at, especially Part 3.
Bloody
Tekken
Roar
3.
2.
Dude, I love that. They should bring Bloody Roar back. That was such a great idea where you could change in their animals and your moveset would change. But
And then you're
Tekken
like
3,
freaking like slashing their bodies
yeah.
into like
Lucky
pieces.
it wasn't a full moon tonight. Tekken
I just
3, when
only
that
know
game
like,
came
I
out.
only Bloody Roar from like the old school jam packs from like back in the day.
Oh yeah,
That's how I played Tekken
Nice
2.
demos.
That's how I played Bloody Roar. That's how I played Elmo's Big Adventure. You know, all the games
Classic
that are essential.
Elmo's Big Adventure.
It's you on a pogo stick as Elmo collecting letters in one level. It's great.
That game looked terrible. Yeah, so fighting games. I'm just trying to think what else I don't play. Yeah, like looter shooters, anything that's online, anything that you need a internet connection or a Wi-Fi connection to
That's not
play.
entirely true, Evan. You forget about our great experience last year together.
Oh,
Like
the one at the end of the year, I said,
Ghost of Tsushima.
I was like, I don't like playing online. You're like, hey, what about like the 12 hours we played together? Oh shit, no, Dan, like that was fun, but yeah. So
Moved on very quickly.
Yeah.
well, everyone.
That will leave a hole in my heart for years.
Well, since
It's like
everyone is in
the
this,
super hot girlfriend you got for like 2 months and then you're like dumped them.
Since not everyone on here is as snobby as me, they're able to enjoy a bigger breadth of games. And I'm sure in that space that I'm so snobby about, like black and white, not going to play it, I'm sure there's some nuggets that if I actually sat down and experienced the game and played the game, I would like it. But the idea of don't play driving games, don't play fighting games, that kind
Don't
of
play shooters.
don't play shooters, yeah. I don't play a lot of stuff, is keeping me from taking that step to find a game that I might like. So
In a nutshell,
that's
Evan hates fun.
yeah, hey, I play games. I'm a gamers.
Gamers. Right, I'm going to start, and I'm going to suggest that Evan plays Final Fantasy Online.
I'm
14.
about 14.
No, I'm not going to suggest he plays that. Are you fucking crazy? I think Evan should play Hades. As if I'd suggest Evan play any kind of Japanese game. I mean, he's up to his fucking eyeballs in Japanese games.
Yeah.
That's what,
He wouldn't. Nick wouldn't wish JRPGs on his
no, that's what I would
His worst enemy,
wish on my
especially-
worst enemy. You must
Especially
play.
not an MMO Japanese RPG.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
It's, Evan, it's a damn shame you don't have Game Pass. It's such a great service.
I think
Because
yeah, I think being free, I think he would just download it and play it.
Yeah, hands down, he would.
I don't know how much it is on PSN at the moment.
$29.99.
But oh, that's
Or is it
steep.
25?
Yeah.
It was something like. Hold on, I can pull up Game Pass really quick on my.
Actually, that's probably not
computer.
steep because you can play that game in perpetuity if you wanted to. But I don't like roguelites. I really don't.
Oh,
I
you
find
don't?
them
Okay.
tedious.
Now
But
I'm
I'm
listening.
really, I am really enjoying Hades. Other roguelites that I've played, I feel either just put you back to zero, or you don't. I don't get the feeling that the progress that I made in my previous try is making me any better or stronger, or giving me any new abilities to get me further than I previously had. Whereas in Hades, I got to I think it's one of the boss
$29.99.
battles. Yeah. If it goes on sale, I'd definitely suggest Evan get it. It's probably cheaper than buying an Xbox and getting Game Pass to download it for free.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to
It's an
pay the
expensive game.
$15 for that, so it's $15 at least.
Yeah.
I would never have bought this ever. So the fact that it's on Game Pass is convince me that it's worth my time and worth my investment in playing it multiple times.
I second McWomble not because it's on Game Pass. I second McWomble because I like Bloodborne, and this game reminds me of Bloodborne, but in the best way possible. Because I was actually talking to Burkoff about this for quite some time. We were before everyone hopped on. We were talking about Hades the whole time, and the big thing for me about this game is it's like if you took the Souls games, but you made the experience much shorter, and the experience is much faster in regards to your progression and getting through everything. So like,
Feel grindy?
it's not as grindy. So I'm on, what did I say, Burkoff? I'm on 11 attempts right now, and I've gotten to 30,
like that, yeah.
and I've gotten to 37 rooms, and that's in 2.5 hours, where Burkoff has only gotten to 12 rooms in about an hour.
5 attempts. Yeah.
5 attempts. So it's and then what I told Burkoff was, what makes it so satisfying is the flow. Like the way the combat works, it's also, you can completely strategize it to how you like to play. So like for me, I love dashing around. Dashing is one of my favorite things, and what you can do is basically when you go to all the different rooms, all the different gods basically give you a different ability that you can add to one of your regular attacks or your dash. And so, just say it in a nutshell, what made me get to 37 rooms in one, I have to pause the podcast. I was like, guys, I'm on a great run right now. Please don't stop me. But it was Hades. Poseidon offers you this dash with some water splashage that can push enemies away from you when you dash and you stop on your dash. So I ended up getting the ability permanently to do 2 dashes. So I was able to do 2 dashes, and then each of those dashes I'd water splurt out so that enemies would bonk off and bounce off me. And then as I got further along, I was able to get another dash. And so I was able to go zoom, 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 and like spray out water while I'm damaging enemies. And so you're just like flying across the screen, and it's extremely satisfying. It reminded me of what's that one shooter that was for the PlayStation 4 that everyone loves so much? That was it was made by the guys that did Returnal. What was that one? Resogun. Resogun. It reminds me of the speed of a Resogun, where it's much more like an arcade at that moment in the way I was doing it. And then on top of that, I ended up getting another special where my sword slashes would spew out a wave of energy. So then here I'm going zoom, 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 slash, 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 zoom, 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 and all these like colors are flying everywhere, and it's just really satisfying running around and like killing all these enemies so quickly. I ended up going through 2 bosses, and I got to the 3rd boss and died. But all in that process, like I was having a blast. Now before that, like I would say 10 minutes before that, I was like, I could not get past a boss. The first boss that I beat the first time, but then I couldn't beat her like 4 times in a row. And I was like, what is going on? And I figured it's all about the strategy. Once you figure out what your play style is, it actually matches your play style really, really well by giving you boosts in so many areas where you can really adapt to your play style. And then on top of that, the rooms offer you options where you can predetermine what special you get or what reward you get in the room by choosing that room ahead of time. So then I could strategically pick and make sure I'm getting the types of abilities I want with my character so that I can progress the way I want through the level. It's just amazing. It's just really good.
Picking up on what Mitch was talking about as well, the dash with the pushback. When I picked that up, I started to realize then that you can line up, because there's traps in some of the rooms as well. So if you line up your enemies and you do the dash and you get them to push back, you can push your enemies onto the traps, which do a massive amounts of damage.
Or I was throwing I was throwing them into lava, and then the lava would kill the enemy.
Yes, there's the enemy types are hugely varied as well, from pretty basic to
pretty quickly too.
Yeah, to extremely annoying. But I didn't feel like the game was cheesing me in any way.
No. I will say also, like an hour in, I was talking to my roommate because he was like, oh, you're playing Hades. And I was like, yeah, the game's really not that special. Like right before I hopped on the podcast, I just talked to him again. I was like, dude, I'm having a freaking blast. So like it's a night and day difference once you start understanding how to use your character, how to evolve it, and how to utilize all the systems, that it just becomes so much fun because then you can experiment. Like that's just one weapon. There are 7 weapons that you can pick from as you go throughout the game. So like those 7 weapons all have different abilities that are affected by the gods putting their powers upon you. So it's like there's just so much accessibility for any player to play how they want.
Just to convince you even further, you can pet Cerberus.
Yes, that's true. You can pet Cerberus.
Oh man, that's like petting 3 dogs at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can also give him things, and he will give you things back.
Yeah, that's what
you get rewarded for petting. Okay. For petting. I shouldn't just say petting. I should denote an object.
Rewarded for
petting the dog.
And Evan, because
I mean, we all know that you get rewarded for petting.
Right, but you don't kill the
talking
guess
about
what,
petting a dog.
Evan, 2 things. You don't kill the dog. 1, you get to pet the dog. 2, the story. I forgot to mention the story. The story is actually really, really well done. It's not like and I know you like plot, so that's why I'm bringing this piece up. And the way they feed you the plot is they do it through conversations. It's all dialogues, no reading, which is great because the voice acting is well done. But the way they're feeding you conversations and talking to you, they give you little hints about like how the relationship. Because right now when you hop in the game, all you're doing is trying to get out of the underworld. And you don't know why. You're Hades' son, and you're trying to leave the underworld, and you don't know why. What's like the drama between everybody, and what's the issue? And like apparently, you find out that like the gods weren't supposed to know that you exist as the son of Hades. So like there's little hints that people like give you by the way they speak to you, of being like, oh, you didn't know I existed, or like, oh, like you don't want me to leave because X, Y, and Z, or like, oh, you allowed me to have the opportunity to escape just by like little nitpicks of conversation that compared to Bloodborne where it's really, really dense and you have to really like read a lot of documents. You have to go talk to a lot of people. Here, the conversations are very every single time I feel like I'm learning something new about the world or my purpose or the people around me and how they what's the word I'm looking for? Not relate to each other, but how they connect as like, as like their family tree or whatever. But it's great.
Well,
it's great.
It's almost like Mass Effect or Splinter Cell Blacklist, where you have that hub, and every time you go back to that hub, which in this game is you're dying. Every time you die, you go back to the hub world.
You go back to your home.
Yeah,
it's your mansion.
But the characters have new things to say, which is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit different than other roguelikes, where like Dead Cells, it just dumps you back to that room, and you're like, oh, okay, I can see what I've unlocked, but there's really no reason.
There's no one to talk to. No one says anything
Right.
new. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Here, there's
Hades,
like 7 people to talk to, and they may be there, they may not be there. They might be in a different room today at that moment. And also, the one guy speaks to you, and he'll let you know, like, oh, you died from this enemy. Oh, I wonder if you tried this. Like, not always does it to you. That. He doesn't do it every time, but he does it occasionally. Or he'll make fun of you because you died from like a silly enemy. He'll be like, "That's embarrassing." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So that's Hypnos. So when you just get out of Lake Tartarus, you walk over, and then he, because Hypnos is the god of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I died to something, and he said, "Well, maybe next time you should try and get out of the way."
Yeah.
You fucking.
I did take his advice though once. So there's these enemies that were throwing bombs all over the place when I died the first time, and then I talked to him, and he's like, "I wonder what happens if you just stand there and like just avoid the bombs." And so I did that, and it actually did nothing. And I was like, "Oh, you asshole! You gave me bad advice."
All right. I have some questions.
The other thing that you can do in the game is when you go into a room, you're normally given 2 choices. So one choice might be to get your normal upgrade currency. I can't remember what it's called. It's these purple gems.
Yeah,
you can use to
upgrade.
Actually,
I would say it's about 50% of the time. It's not every time you get 2 options. Sometimes it's 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said normally.
Oh, that's why I said 50-50, because it's just 50-50, at least for me.
And sometimes you can get these vials of, nectar. And you can trade those with NPCs for relics that you can equip to yourself before you go on a run. So I've got 2 at the moment. And the one that I'm using I got from Achilles, and you can level all of these up. So I do 20% more damage, but I take 10% more damage if an enemy hits me in the back.
Yeah, and I do
So you've got-
Cerberus, who gives me more health. And actually, there's no sacrifice. It's just a dog collar, and he gives you more health. So like, I'll take it.
So there is a trading mechanic in the game as well. But
I do like it. That have you tried to trade with his dad Hades?
No, I've not got. I've done.
I did
5 runs, I think.
Are you
got
okay if
further
I
than
tell you
that,
what
so
he
that's
does
good.
if you try to give it to him?
Yeah, go for it. I don't care.
He just goes like, "What, you trying to soften me up, kid? Like, why would I want this piece of?" And then he's like, "I'll take this, and you can go." So it's like, okay, because Hades, the dad, is a dick to his son, and he doesn't want him to leave. He basically said, "I'm going to do whatever it takes to make you stay." But anyways, Evan, you got questions. You got questions. We have answers.
Yeah, one thing about the story, and I've heard a lot of this because one of my friends is like roguelite guy. All he does is play roguelites. Any new like me with Metroidvanias, any new roguelite that comes out, he plays it. He's played Binding of Isaac for 1,000 hours and gotten all 630 achievements or whatever. And he was telling about Hades. One thing I do like about it, and I think Greg Kasavin, right, is the writer, where he's like, how can we put an actual story that moves forward in a roguelite? Because usually it just doesn't work that way because you keep dying and respawning. And based on what you guys have said and what he has said, it's like they actually put a story like why you're there. Hades doesn't think that you even have a chance of leaving, so he's like, yeah, try, go ahead, dude. And I like that they put a story explaining the roguelite element of the game, and I do appreciate that. And all the gods that you get to talk to, and there's new additional dialogue trees that open up, and blah 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 blah. I love the artwork, the all the gods, how their style, how they look, and color palettes and stuff are really interesting. But one first question for McWomble. You had said that you don't normally like roguelites. What's your history of playing roguelites, and why didn't you like said game?
I've tried 2. I think I tried the Binding of Isaac, and I can't remember the other one.
What about Binding of Isaac did you not like?
How fucking hard it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that game's pretty damn hard.
And the other thing is, I didn't find the gameplay loop then to be rewarding. I just found it hard, and not in a get good. I'm going to keep playing this so that I can put my elitist gamer badge on. Sew it on my denim jacket. I got to 1,000 rooms in the Binding of Isaac.
Oh, I think my friend has a little bit of that for sure. Okay. The other thing is, so you guys are talking about the dash, and I will say, in terms of movement mechanics in games, I think the 2 best things ever created for games were 1, the double jump, and 2, the dash move. It feels so good to do those in any type of game.
Now, which double jump?
When you
just a double, like 2 hops, or the double, the 1 and a flip?
Just the hop.
The hop and a flip,
if you want to go parkour with it, yeah, you want to stylize it, sure. If you want to do a little flip, I'm cool with that.
If you're gonna do a double jump, there always has to be a flip. That's my one rule.
Unless it's Destiny, where it's just.
Or like even in Breath of the Wild, like Link has the most pitiful jump.
That's the one thing I give to Jedi Fallen Order is at least he does a front flip on the double jump.
He does do a flip. You're right. That is once you get the double jump, that's when it changes.
It's a very
especially for Metroidvanias.
Yeah, it's a very Metroid thing to do.
My favorite thing to do with Luigi in Smash Bros is to make him do a backflip, and it's like goes back and then he does the roll on the second jump.
All right, so we've established that Mitch really likes when people flip, especially on the second one.
It's an artistry. It has to feel good. It can't just be like a double jump. It's got to like have good momentum. And I'm picky about my jumps. Don't. It's
got to look good.
That's a thing.
Okay. So when you guys are talking about like, oh, I got this dash move and it's awesome, and then like presumably or maybe because of this awesome dash move and you have an AOE, like if I could do a double jump with some AOE attacks in like a Metroidvania, that'd be amazing. Do you get that move every time?
Yeah.
And did you feel at some points like, oh, you're X amount of time into a run, you're like, well, I'm not getting like good stuff, therefore this run isn't that fun. And that's something that I had an issue with in Dead Cells. Where like I beat this boss before. Now, is it because I was good, or is it because I had the right?
The RNG
Because
that
I had the double jump that had
pushed it through.
the water AoE
Yeah,
attack.
I
You
get
know?
what you're saying. I think that the different gods offer enough variety in your abilities to always have something that you think is going to be positive of what you need. So like not
So
necessarily
in a single run, you'll find that one thing that it'll help you get through. You don't feel like, oh,
It
No,
doesn't.
I
It
didn't
I'm
get the
doesn't.
trying to.
dash, so I can't beat
No,
the
I'm trying to
boss.
say is like if say like I preferably I would prefer the Poseidon dash because I get that wave move that crashes and pushes the enemies away. But if I get like a Zeus ability, I may not use it on the dash because and you might not even get offered. You only get offered 3 abilities per god, and it may not. They don't always affect just your like attacking. It could affect your defense, the amount of damage you do on an enemy, all that kind of stuff. So I always feel like every time I pick an ability, it does benefit me in some way that I feel it contributes to me being successful. Like I don't always have to have that Poseidon ability. If I had it, that'd be great. But I know I have a Zeus dash that I like as well, where it shoots lightning of where I last was, that it will strike an enemy. Or if the god of wine, I forgot his name.
Dionysus.
Thank you. If I dash and the enemy is in a circle that I'm in, they get super slow and drunk, and so then I can beat the crap out of them. It's like they do offer variety.
There's a lot of fun stuff you can play around with.
There's enough
that's
variety, but they offer enough for you to feel like you don't have to have the one move. Like it's like I don't have to have that one move to be successful. I just need to keep upgrading my abilities and offer at least a couple things that I would need. Either that's like improving my attack, my dash, or something.
Yeah, your skill set doesn't really change. You have your standard attack, which is X or square. Your secondary attack, which is Y or triangle, which is your AoE, and then you have B or circle, which is
Ranged attack.
Magic.
it's a ranged magic attack, and then A or X is your dash.
Okay. All right. Burkoff, I'll throw a question to you if that's all right.
Yeah.
So in Dead Cells, I'm just going to say Dead Cells because that's the most recent roguelite that I've played.
Yeah.
You get to a point in specific areas, you can choose between 2 places to go, 2 like biomes, like a new biome. And then it'll get to a point where like, okay, you die, right? And you have to go back through the sewers, and then you end up getting to a point like, I don't, what was the place called? The clock tower. And I have to go to the clock tower. It's like, I don't fucking want to go to the clock tower. I hate that fucking level, but you have to go there.
Yeah.
And it's like the 8th time I've been there, but I have to try to get through it. For at least from what you've done so far in the game, Burkoff, has there been an area in Hades where it's like, I got to do the fucking clock tower again? Like, fuck, all right, let's just hunker down and get through it.
I think that's just that's sort of a casualty of the genre.
There's always like an asshole level, always.
Yeah, but you're constantly unlocking shit in the back end that makes you stronger and stronger and stronger.
Sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes in Dead Cells, I didn't feel like I could even live through the clock tower, even with the shit that I unlocked.
Well, Dead Cells is a little bit different too, because if I remember correctly, some of the permanent upgrades are not all that great.
Yeah, a lot of stuff that's dropped is just, I'm like, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't like this weapon.
Yeah, so I mean,
Seems like Hades has a bit more fun.
I haven't really played I haven't played enough to know whether or not there's any of that stuff yet.
Okay.
But I haven't run into it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like also the thing, Evan, that it offers to you is that because you have like 50% of the time you have multiple doors to go through, which equals you may not reach a certain type of level set that like you may not be a fan of. But to be honest, I haven't.
You can skip stuff if you want. If you can,
like if I because every path goes to the same direct. Like if I took the same doors, it's going to take me to the same rooms. But there are branching paths that will go to other rooms. So if I don't want to go to that specific room, I will go to another room. It's only
I don't know that it really matters though. It just matters.
It doesn't in this.
It doesn't. The only thing that difference is
it just matters what upgrade you want.
Yeah, it's the incentive.
Or what currency you want to collect. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
because you do a certain number of rooms, you reach a boss, and it's your choice on what what rewards you want to get for beating those rooms on the way to meeting the boss.
Right.
Okay.
The first boss battle that I had with Megaeus, she kicked my ass.
Oh, I beat her the first time.
So yeah, that's how far I've got on. I think it was my 4th run.
But she did. But she did after that. She beat me 4 times in a row, and it's like the nemesis system. She was back talking me, being like, "Oh, I get to deal with you again." I'm like, "Oh shit, I got."
Okay, so they add dialogue if a boss has beaten you.
And she's even like,
Okay, I like
if
that.
you die from her, or even if you beat her and then you die again, she's at Hades is at your house. It's like when you go to like explore, you can go talk to her, and she'd be like, "I won't lose to you again." And I'm like, "Okay, good luck with that."
That is one issue I do have with these games, though. Sorry, very quickly. The boss of Dead Cells. The first time I beat him, the only time I beat him, I like wiped the floor with him, and my friend's like, "You're not gonna beat him the first time," and I did. And the second time I got to him, he fucking kicked my ass, and I think it was because of what I had. Like I just had bad equipment.
That's the priest guy.
No, it's the Hand of the King is the final boss.
All right.
On a totally different note, we definitely need Tomness to like be the outro maestro.
He's conducting. He's
conducting
right
with
now.
a pen there.
Yeah.
So when we do the outro, he needs to be conducting.
Spent enough time talking about Hades.
Yeah.
I'm on the final thoughts. I'm on the fence about it. It seems like it's some of the issues I have had with Dead Cells. It seems like it had made smart quality of life or choices or changes to it to make it a much more enjoyable game.
Yeah.
Final argument to you, Evan. Did Dead Cells make Game of the Year?
Absolutely not. It's like one of my most disappointing.
Yeah, Hades made Game of the Year for multiple places. So it's got to be doing something.
Totally, yeah.
So it's got to be doing something right compared to Dead Cells. So I would say
Dead Cells is a very loved game, but that's because of the people. The people who like that genre review those games and
it's the roguelike hero
nines because
it's the roguelike hero knights that really want that roguelike. Roguelike.
Watch that Pokemon Snap review from IGN.
I would say so. Dead Cells, Sublevel 0, Ziggurat, Eldritch. I'm just naming off like different roguelikes I've played. So far, Hades is probably the most compelling in terms of like narrative and stuff. There's actually a reason to get through it.
If McWomble says he's having fun and you say it's the best one you've played so far, it's on my short list of things I should probably try. I'll give it that.
Stick it on your wish list for a PSN sale.
Yeah, just watch for sale.
Yeah, I would get it when by the time you get your PS5, because by the time you get your PS5, it's gonna be on a discount and pick it up.
The 60th raffle he enters.
I mean, hell, I'm probably not gonna. I already have. There's the people that talk about going like, I give up, and I'm one of those people. I give up. Like, I'm assuming I'm going to get this thing in 2022.
I could walk into town and buy one secondhand right now, but I'm not paying over retail just to get one.
Of course.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Same here, right?
I will wait till it's readily available in 2022.
Just pay the extra like Ichiman $100. And just do it. I'm like, no, it's the principle of the matter. Do not feed into these scumbags putting it up for that. Yeah, so, yeah.
Weirdly, in Ireland, you could just walk into GameSpot and pick it off the shelf.
What?
All right. Booking my flight to the most expensive PlayStation 5.
He won't spend the extra $100, but he'll fly to fucking Ireland.
It's the principle.
Well,
where's the camera? It's the principle.
It's not only that. He'll take a 2-week quarantine, then he can go get it. Then he has to go fly and do another 2-week quarantine.
Well, no, it would be 2 weeks quarantine for you, Evan, if you're double vaccinated.
Yeah, fully vaccinated. Finally,
then you're fine.
I think it's like in Japan it's 6 days or 3 days or something. But I get home and I'm fired because I didn't show up at work. But at least I got a
PlayStation 5.
How about you send them like a picture of being like, I'm like, thank you for firing me because I got this baby right here. Just the
So
PS1.
who's the loser now?
To be fair, I realise this is convincing Evan to play games, but actually I was on the fence about Hades. But the fact that I have to read shitloads of text and it reads it to me, Mitch, that's got me involved.
The
Halfway
the
through,
voice
he pulls out a
acting,
notebook.
the voice
The
acting
voice
is
acting
really
is
good.
superb. Yeah,
I mean,
it's really
to
good.
be honest, I was
great to
Dan.
hear.
Before I even played it, I was skeptic. Like I was like, because I never play roguelikes. I don't even think I have played like a legit one. I think the Souls games is the closest thing to a roguelike I could play, which is pretty decently close after playing Hades.
Don't
And I hate
make the
all
community
those.
mad. Roguelite.
Sorry,
It's not a
roguelike.
yeah.
Sorry, roguelike.
Otherwise they'll cut your
They'll
balls
cut
off
me
and put it
off.
in your throat.
Yeah.
But
so
I was really skeptic, but like after playing, I understand why it's game of the year, and I am more than happy to like if my mind being like I get it, I respect it, and I am all for them giving it game of the year. 'Cause it was a hell
One
of a
thing
good
that I
game.
think is mildly annoying about it is you don't get currency to spend on the cosmetic stuff in the Hall of Hades very
Yeah.
quickly.
Oh yeah,
That's a
Well,
bit of a grind.
yeah, that is a grind. If
Yeah.
you want to, like, I don't really spend it to be honest.
They put in loot boxes, problem solved. I mean, you don't have to worry about currency.
just
Right,
enter your credit card number.
I'm going to go with another one. So Evan, picture this: you have just played through The Last of Us Part 2.
Mhm.
You were forced in that game to murder dogs for no good reason. These poor animals just wanted to live. They just wanted to wag their tails, sniff and roll in substances that probably smell bad, and you had to kill them.
Technically forced to kill one dog. You can choose not to kill the other ones.
I accidentally took a giant hammer to a dog's head in that game.
Accidentally.
And both of my friends watching me.
Shame on you.
I was aiming for the owner, and Ellie just did like the when your character gets into an animation and,
Yeah,
and
she
it'll
gets
kind of like
stuck.
magnetize to the
Magnetize.
place. It was like, whoop. I'm like, no. My friends were like, holy shit. I'm like, I feel so terrible. Anyways,
The magnetism reminds me of the original God of War, where they like magnetize flipping the position to do the special kill, because it would always like turn the body to get the right angle
Yeah.
on it. And I'm like, ooh, this is magic. It's just like, how does it do a 360?
don't think about it too hard. Okay, so I'm sad about killing dogs, obviously.
Yes.
Now,
for me.
now imagine you are the canine god of payback.
Oh my god, what is this game?
Yeah,
You
which
just
game is
happen
this?
to be a stray dog living on the Russian subway system,
Oh my god.
and you steal food from people. You chug down vodka after stealing it from people. You can poison poodles. You can set cats on fire. You can barbecue bears. You can
What game is
roll.
this?
This is Russian
So-
subway dogs.
Yeah.
It's
What?
a legit game.
Yeah.
Did you say I could play a dog and set cats on fire?
Yes.
It's a game about
Russian
stealing food.
subway dog.
Russian subway dogs, amazing.
Russian subway
You know,
dogs.
I love it when a title says all you need to know about the game.
It's an arcade
You
game.
wouldn't
I don't know
between
how
them,
much
but
it is on PSN.
It's like it's just a standard beat 'em up, right?
So it's you pull into a station on the subway. Your dog gets off, and then you've got that section of subway platform.
Hold on, Keith. Keith, I'll make some B-roll.
I've got the launch
Gosh.
trailer up.
They're interviewing dogs, real life dogs at the beginning. It's genius.
And it just the premise sounds really fun. It's based on the real story of the stray dogs who live on the Moscow metro system.
Wow. They let them on the train and everything. People just
Well, they live there, and these dogs have learned to navigate the Russian metro system, or at least in Moscow.
Oh my god, the launch trailer's hilarious. They're interviewing dogs. I'll
but
get the B-roll
thought-
up really soon, people. I'm working on it.
I thought after in many games, if cats can get their own goddamn video game, I need to get Evan to play a game where you play as a dog, causing
Oh, look at
havoc.
this. Wow, they're called the Proletariat. That is that's pretty good.
It's a deep
Little
cut.
jab at little Marxism pun there. Look at this.
Oh, it's for the Vita.
You can get it on.
I think you can get it on everything, right?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fucked up. There's these people in these giant coats with like that Russian hat on, and they're just walking in the subway, obviously drinking bottles of vodka, like, based on true events.
Yeah. So you can bark. One of the abilities you can get is you can bark fire. And so you can set people on fire and then steal their food and their vodka.
Shoot, where'd it go?
You can kill pigeons.
Oh God, you know how many pigeon jokes I've made about shooting pigeons in Japan in the past couple months? A disturbing amount. My wife is.
I think if depending on how much this game is, you have to play this.
I think I do. Dude, if this is like if I look and it's like platinum trophy difficulty 2 out of 10, I'll pull that credit card out and throw it at my screen. I think that's how you pay for stuff, right?
15
It is
bucks.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That's a play. That's a play. All right, that's in my left pocket. That's the play pocket. Proletariat.
I thought about this when I came up with the topic of trying to convince you to play games. I thought I've just got to look up games about dogs.
I was gonna say, how the hell did you find this game? Because I've never seen it. Also, it has really good, really fluid pixel art, which is a plus for me. On a bulletin list of things that I like.
I'm gonna look up to see if it's on the Microsoft Store, because if you play it, I'll play it as well.
We'll do a podcast about it. All right, anyone? All right, so that's a play. Burkhoff, you said you had a list of stuff, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm gonna pass it to Dan because Dan hasn't really talked much. Do you got a game, Dan?
Got a game?
I'll wait for a bit because he's a bit fussy.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna show
Are you talking about Thomas or Evan?
So a game that I've asked you to play multiple times. I don't know that you've ever actually bought it.
I'm showing
Apex Legends.
I'm showing the Russian dogs right now, really quick, while you're talking.
Does it have to do with? Is the word 3 in the title?
No, but I'm really curious.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious what game that could have been or what you thought.
I thought you were going to say Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Oh no, well that one for sure, but the Talos Principle. You've never played the Talos Principle before, dude, and that's like one of my top games of all time.
Yeah, that was your number one game of the decade when we did that show.
Yeah.
I remember.
So like all the stuff that you like about Control in terms of like the documents and things that you get that explain the world and contextualize what's going on. All of that is in Talos Principle with audio logs and terminal entries on the computers.
Oh, so I can play the audio logs as I'm figuring out puzzles? I can listen while I'm actually playing? Okay, that's a plus.
Yeah. And yeah, the puzzles are, I would say, on par with Portal or Portal 2.
I have a question for you. The only... Because I haven't played the game. I've only seen screenshots and reviews of the game. The only type of puzzle I've seen is someone holding like a lamp that shoots out light. Is that all you do in that? You're just kind of positioning lamps to connect light or
no? So there's
no.
So that's the main. Sort of mechanic is connecting beams of light to open doors. But you have different mechanics that come along the way. So there's like a rewind mechanic at one point where you have to do something and remember what it was that you were doing, and then it create a double of yourself, and then you are the double as your character from the past does what you just did, and you have to go do something else.
Oh, that reminds me of Braid a little bit. Braid had
a time it in sequence. There's stuff where you have to place boxes or do different things like that. It's kind of hard to describe without actually getting into the puzzles because it ramps up. It starts off and it's like, all right, we need you to place this thing and make sure that this beam goes to this object. Okay, done.
Well, it's like The Witness.
Does it nudge you in the direction more? Like, is it like, here's a giant world. I don't know. Go up, or is it like puzzle area? You solve this, you move on to the next area type of.
Yeah. So
I would much prefer that.
everything's cordoned off.
Okay,
And there's
that's good.
very clear objectives. Like each puzzle area that you're in, if you get the stars and the extra stuff, those stars you use to unlock additional areas. And then as you unlock the areas, it does open up wider and wider as you go.
I'm showing B-roll of it now.
Of Talos Principle.
Yep. So if you're watching the stream, you'll see it.
Yeah. So as it's going through the what it's showing us, I think the story is the most compelling part, though. So like the puzzles are really intriguing and they're very clever. But the story is, if you engage with it and you understand what's going on, it's kind of a mind fuck.
I like that type of stuff, mystery, like even stuff that might not necessarily be able to wrap my head around fully, like Axiom Verge 2. Even the first one, like what the hell is going on? Like whatever they're talking about AI and what's a soul and multi-universes, like, but it's still interesting regardless of whether or not I know the complete timeline of what's going on. So
Yeah,
I'd be in for that.
yeah.
It is highbrow gaming.
I mean, Burkoff is the video game world's thinking man's gamer. We all know this to be true. He is the thinking man gamer.
So yeah, I love this game. Like I cannot say enough about it. I would absolutely. I mean, I've gone back and played it, a few different times. If you've played Portal and you like those games, you need to play this. Especially, it's Portal meets Control with the documents and the story context stuff.
Right, I've actually never played Portal, but
Whoa!
I
liked Portal.
I do like Control. So you know what? I would totally play the Talos Principle if it was like the Talos Principle coach, but it was just you weren't telling me how to get through the puzzles. It was just you and me drinking and me trying to figure it out for myself, streaming.
It's like playing The Witness drunk. Good
Oh,
luck with
God.
playing that game.
That would be.
That'd be
This would be like that Snoop Dogg stream where he just like left and it was streaming for like 12 hours straight
all right,
in
so
an empty chair.
So, all right, one thing I think. So I know you and your wife play like Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that, right? She likes to play stuff that's
sometimes, yeah.
okay. I think this might be a game. At least it was for me and my wife. When I sat down to play it, she would watch me play, and then she'd be like, "Oh no, you need to do this." Like her watching it, she was able to figure out puzzles and stuff. And I think if your wife was
Get that
watching,
outside perspective.
yeah, she might be like, "Oh no, you need to go do this," and she might even find it engaging, not having to like control a character or anything like that. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. We were watching The Big Lebowski the other day, and she's like, "I don't like this movie," and she fell asleep. So she's on thin ice right now. I don't know if I want to actually sit on the sofa next to her and talk with her. So once that cools off, maybe we'll give it a shot. All right, I'll put that in the list, just below Hades, because I know how much you like it. It's not as kind of directionless as The Witness. I do like puzzle games. I don't mind taking the time to figure that stuff out for myself, and doing that type of thing by yourself. It's very rewarding. A bit of control, reading some interesting documents. Yeah, like I do like all that stuff. So it's in that pocket. Number 2, just below.
Yeah.
Need to say there's no dogs in Talos Principle. Just putting it out.
No,
there are robots.
Yeah,
Robot dogs.
The average time to complete the entire game is 16 hours. So it's not a huge investment either.
It's another plus.
Yeah.
I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles. My God, that game doesn't end. I need something short.
I just wish the combat system was a little better on Xenoblade.
I like it. It's kind of. It took me a while to get into the art system, but once I figured it out, it's pretty good. Anyways, all right. It's in the right pocket.
Mitch,
short
do you
list.
have a game to try and? Currently, we're only convinced Evan to play Russian Subway Dogs.
That's like shooting fish in the barrel with that
Well, I
one.
want Dan to take one. That since he's got the feeding frenzy going, so I think he's in perfect opportunity to strike.
One second.
When he drops the bottle,
Yep. There we go.
he's like, don't drop it.
Well, I've just been sitting here thinking, all the games I would say, Evan's just going to be a hard pass.
Like, let me tell you about the game
Because I play some obscure strategy games.
Tactics RTS, the game. You have a cursor, right?
If it's got
You highlight
real-time
a group-
strategy in it, I'd play it. I don't know. Because you hate them, Evan. Like, so it's going to be hard for me to convince you. And there's nothing I've played lately that I would think is doing anything different to a standard RTS that you would to kind of draw you in.
Sure. Let me tell you about a little game called Ghost of Tsushima Legends.
Well, actually, I have one I think he would play. That's an RTS.
Okay, well you say that, and I'll chop it if I've played it.
When I said like what I play has shrunk, it has, because Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War, and Dawn of War 2. I played those games. I beat those games. Fallout 1 and 2 games. Played both of them over and over again. I don't know what happened to me.
Fallout Tactics was phenomenal.
I played a little bit of Fallout Tactics because I love those Fallout games so much, but I fell off of that a bit. But there was a time when I played all this shit, and I just don't anymore. I don't know why.
Well, mine,
Screw the fat, man.
I think an RTS you would actually enjoy. And I know you're not a fan of difficulty. Actually, you are a fan of difficulty.
What
This
are you
is why
talking
it's
about?
perfect
Yeah.
for you.
Don't say Pikmin.
But
You know why? This is the RTS for you, my man. It is Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's fantastic.
It would be Evan's go-to RTS. You know why?
I think it'd be too easy for him.
It's not really real time strategy, but yeah,
And
it's tactical for sure.
It's more tactical.
All right.
Well,
I
it's
think
tactical, but still.
You know what I think though, Mitch? Maybe the second one, where it's a bit more freeform. It looks a bit more freeform.
Well, we don't know
Might
yet.
be
We haven't
more.
seen
We
it,
don't know
so.
yet, but from like what they're talking, if it does end up being a bit more freeform, it might be more up his alley. I think Kingdom Battle 1 is way too strategy for Evan, but it's on a Switch, so that must give it plus points.
Yeah, it's on the Switch one.
You
It's
probably
got-
can buy
it's got
it like
Mario.
second hand, like dirt cheap.
It's also it's also
buy
very
it second hand for $60.
But I
Oh,
think
really?
also
Okay.
it's so like it's basic, yet it offers some depth as you get really, really far in the game. That like I think for him, because he doesn't play as many of these types of games, he would actually enjoy it more because they do give you a little bit of leeway in the beginning to teach you all the mechanics that you have to learn, and then it's all on you, bro. Like, you know all the mechanics. Now it's time to actually like strategize instead of just being basic here. And I think because of that, I think you'll really like it, and you don't have to redo as many levels as you would think. And I mean, hey, I think your wife would enjoy watching it too because it is kind of funny.
Some of the stuff's quite comical.
Yeah,
I'll say this: it definitely has the Mushroom Kingdom and the Mario world in it going for it, right? Like that'll get me pretty far in terms of interest. However, and this isn't just some like old man shit. I despise the Rabbids. I hate the way they look. I think Rabbid Peach with like her whole thing is selfies. Like, I don't find it funny. I find it extremely annoying.
I get you.
I hate their little beady eyes. I think they look disgusting.
I get
hate
you
them.
too.
They're worse than the minions.
And I'm not a fan as much of the Rabbids, but I think somehow it works. For this specifically, it really does work.
Does it work?
It does have the good slapstick comedy. It's less than you think it is. Like in that trailer that I just showed on the B-roll, that is not how much comedy you get from the Rabbids inside the game itself. That's as much comedy if you played like 20 hours of the game. It's not constant. It's not in your face. They actually choose really
it's
genuine
about the gameplay.
They choose genuine moments to use the comedy, but yeah, it's all about the gameplay. And the gameplay is really well done. It is.
What I'd say, Evan, is that I worry that you might get bored of how easy it is to start with. But then again, so that would be my concern for you to play it. But it's worth a try. But in terms of them fitting in, I hated the Rabbids. I never played a Rabbids game. I thought they were a pointless feature. But I picked it up because of the Mario aspect and the fact it was a strategy game. And it does. I do agree with Mitch. It does work in some weird way. It does kind of work.
I think this is probably the best you've ever seen of the Rabbids ever.
Yeah, I agree.
And like you,
that means very little to me.
It's not hard,
but it means little to me too. Like I'm with you, Evan. I'm with you. But I really think genuinely, like, not just saying like it works because it's like, oh, it's the best they've ever been, but like it's best they've ever been, and it's good. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but
you've just
good.
Jumped over the lowest of low bars.
Yeah, it's like they qualified for the Olympics. They're not getting a medal, but they qualified.
Yeah, a corgi could prance over that bar. Okay, I think what I will do is I'm taking what you said into consideration, especially because Dan said he hates the Rabbids and it didn't get in the way. So that is definitely a plus for me. I do like the idea of and people like the first game, right? They took a crack at it, a new idea.
Right.
Like balancing a game like that, especially with Mario characters, is really hard because you're going to reel people in because it's Mario, right? But you might turn them off of that type of strategy game. But it seems like the balance was pretty good. However, I'm more interested to see in the second attempt at that because they might have worked out, tweak quality of life stuff, changed some stuff based on feedback. Maybe the second game is a better game. And then at that point, the first game becomes like redundant where, just play the second game because it's basically an upgraded version of the first game. So maybe wait and see for the second game, see what people say about that, and then I might consider it. So
I mean, I have a feeling you might. Yeah, I would say maybe wait for the second game, even though like I think you'll enjoy the first one if the first one goes like on a steep discount for some reason because it is Ubisoft. Like, even though it is Nintendo, like, it does have Ubisoft's name attached to it as well. So I'm curious. I think it might. So I think maybe try the first game if it's at a steep discount. But if not, I maybe wait for the second one because I think obviously this is like the one game from Ubisoft. Like, I think they really are going to do a good job with in regards to like improving because the first game was good. So
Evan,
yeah, like they already did a good job in the first game.
Evan. So I assume you don't really like.
Sorry.
What?
Oh,
you cut off that whole time.
Just froze again.
What does he assume? I'll never know.
No, Dan, no.
The internet does not want you to
the
say
internet doesn't want
whatever he's going to say.
I was going to say.
Go ahead.
I thought it's kind of like chess. You have to learn the characters, how they move, and how your opponent's pieces move, and then kind of, So if you're not a chess fan, you're never going to like any of these games. But that's how.
But if you like the Queen's Gambit, you'll love this game.
Yeah, true. The Queen's Gambit got me back into chess.
What about XCOM, Evan? Did you play?
No, did you play XCOM 1?
Yeah, it was free on the PlayStation Plus. I played 2 missions, and I was like, this game's not good. I'm not interested in it.
Well, that's what I mean. If you're going to like the genre, that's probably the pinnacle. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Erebus Jones is rolling in his grave. I also hate Diablo 3. All you do is walk around and like little chests pop open and you just swing your little axe.
Have you ever played Diablo 3? Have you ever played Diablo 3 with like a good group of people though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I hate Diablo 3 by myself, but when I'm like with other people playing it, it's quite enjoyable.
Sorry, my wife said that Thomas is a very cute baby. She just happened to walk by.
Oh, she's
what I would say is, Evan, don't join the boycott of Activision Blizzard games.
Yeah, that'll be pretty easy for me. I've been doing it my whole life, so.
So just to say, if anyone hasn't listened to the latest episode of A Starting Point, Corey announced that he's cancelled all of his subscriptions to Blizzard, and he's deleted all of the games until they sort themselves out. So
considering he had an Overwatch blanket on his bed, that's saying something.
Are you sure he wasn't? There was no one holding a gun to his head.
Well,
Sure.
I think we need to find him some new games to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Corey should
Yeah,
have
you
been the
should have brought
feature
him
on
on
this
here.
show. Like, what's
I
We
don't
should
know,
invite
I mean-
him on the show for this episode.
new games
like,
Corey
so-
needs to play?
he's probably saving himself, I don't know, maybe $300-400 a month now.
Well, then you could then because the other reason why I love Corey on the show because he mocks you and it's hilarious.
Yeah, but that's fine. You guys just need to up your game a bit. I need to go in approximately 5 minutes. Well, actually 5 minutes. So I've got a couple of quick mentions. Evan, you should play Dead to Rights.
Dead to Rights.
From 2002. You get to command
how
a
am I gonna
dog
play this?
to rip people's throats out and bite their balls off.
Oh, the white dog and this kind of a Max Payne looking guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
You get to command your dog Shadow to kill people. Another quick mention to Call of Duty Ghosts.
Literally every game with dogs. That's what you're. That's the next.
This is what I'm going for. I know how to.
All right.
I know how to get into side.
Actually, Call of Duty
head.
Ghosts is one of my favorites. Actually,
Yeah, it is one of the best.
I do
It was like the
remember
black
that
sheep of the
Xbox
series.
press conference where they just showed the dog.
the dog mechanics. Yep.
Yeah.
So you get to play certain sections of Call of Duty Ghosts as Riley the dog, and you move Riley around, and she sneaks up, and she can kill people as well. So you get some video game revenge on all these games where you kill dogs.
All right. Riley the dog. Oh, they should have called it Ghost Dog. Oh, no, that's Forrest Whitaker, isn't it? Never mind. That's a deep cut, if anyone's paying attention. Anyways,
Yeah.
all right. We have Dead to Rights. We have Ghosts. We have Russian Dog Subway.
Yeah.
What Russian Subway dogs?
Russian subway dogs.
All right. That's yeah, Ghost. How much is Ghost now? $5 I can get that for?
Probably too much.
$5.
It depends on if it's still on sale, because I know right after the news broke, Activision's like, quick, do a sale. We need to raise some money.
Oh, right. Oh,
We
God.
finance this litigation right now.
Well, as long as it's less than $7, because I bought Titanfall 2 for that, and that was not worth $7 I paid for it.
That's a travesty. It's definitely worth $7.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Just stab me through the screen.
Does
shit,
anyone
I
else?
just-
have any
Why are we
games
trying?
for
Why are
Evan?
we trying to convince this heathen moron to play
Even
games when he doesn't?
moron. Ouch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Hey.
have one for you, Evan. It's a Japanese game.
All right. Does it have waifus in it? I already have a Japanese waifu. I don't need any more. Ha! That was, what? It's not important. It was a terrible joke. It's not important.
Go and watch the rest of the Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Seriously. So, yeah. Sorry. I deserve that. Anyways. What are we talking about? Oh, Mitch, you had a game.
Well, it's a Japanese game. It's a guy with poofy hair. Oh, I can't process it. I was going to show B-roll of it and say guess the game. But anyways, I was going to say Yakuza as a joke. Yakuza 7. It's a-
Oh, yeah. That game
Like a
I
dragon.
platinumed 8 years ago. It's pretty good.
All right. Anyone
I've
else,
heard it.
anyone else got a game for Evan?
I've heard it's not pretty good. I've heard it's
2
fabulous.
Point Hospital
It's good.
by the old Bullfrog team.
Oh, I just booted it up for the first time the other night.
Yeah, that's what you should play,
What game
Evan.
was that?
2 Point Hospital.
Heavy fucking theme park vibes.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like get back in the day
Evan.
theme park.
Evan,
Bullfrog,
come-
fantastic.
Come on, my man. When I was
I
doing,
forgot. There's
I was going to say
one
when
more game on the list. I don't like the
Building.
theme park like roller
Oh,
coaster
Jesus.
tycoon stuff.
But Evan,
don't
I was
play
telling
that.
you, how did you not know? I did a whole show on Sifted HQ, and one of my games I talked about was 2 Point Hospital.
He's preparing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no, 2 Point Hospital is amazing.
but
if you liked-
it's on Game Pass. He doesn't have
It's on Game Pass
so-
now. You don't have Game Pass, that's true.
He doesn't have
but
Game
it's
Pass.
also on Switch. I played it on Switch, and you get all the extra like expansions for free. It's pretty good.
You can like have like Mario costumes for the doctors and shit, right?
Probably.
That's the thing, though, right? I actually might throw an hour at some of these games that you've mentioned if I had You know what? Who thought of this topic, by the way? It was McWomble. And it all comes back
To Game Pass.
to Game Pass.
The Game Pass.
Well,
He didn't care about me. That's the only thing he wanted to reiterate is what a great deal Game Pass is and how I'm missing out on expanding the games that I play because
Okay.
I don't have Game Pass. I see.
Well,
Well
Evan,
played,
to be
sir.
truthfully honest, I didn't enjoy Two Point Hospital as much as I thought I would. I'm similar to you, where it's like I do enjoy the roller coaster. I don't enjoy the roller coaster like builders as much, and I was like, okay, I'll give Two Point Hospital a try. I think it's just a little too wacky. That sometimes it's almost merely impossible.
You got,
When you get
got
to
the
a point,
Wallace.
hold on,
Mitch.
let me finish. Then you can stop me. That it like gets to a point where I almost don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do to reach the next threshold, and so I kind of got stuck at a certain point where I just 2 Point Hospital. I got stuck on the second point that I just couldn't get there. So, what were you gonna say, Dan?
What I was gonna say was for me, I think you were a bit too young without bringing age into it. Unless you grew up with Theme Hospital from Bullfrog from like 95 or 97, I think 95, maybe 97 or whatever.
But I grew up with
then-
Roller Coaster Tycoon and The Sims.
Yeah,
like I grew up
different
on those.
studio.
very different, completely
Yeah.
different studio, and also the fact that it basically is the like spiritual successor to that game, and that was bloody wacky. So because if you'd played that, you'd realize how wacky it was, so it wouldn't then feel wacky now. Does that make sense? Because you knew where it came from. If you were just comparing it to like Roller Coaster Tycoon, you're like, what is this crazy game where they have crazy weird illnesses? But if you'd played the original Bullfrog Theme Hospital game,
That's part of the
Would maybe
DNA
felt
of
like
the
that.
games.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thing.
I get it,
I,
but
I
like,
do need to.
hard out.
I do need to go and get a train.
Okay, well, you go. We'll keep talking for a little bit longer.
Bye, McWomble.
But
Enjoy your Saturday.
It's good to see that Evan saw through my cunning plan. It only took him. How long have we been on?
It's like an hour and 40 minutes or whatever we've been doing. Yeah.
My master plan.
Slow. Yeah, that's why I don't like all this. I'll play the fast twitchy difficult stuff, but anything that will start using this old noggin here, just impenetrable. No Talos principle, nothing where I have to strategize. I am not the thinking man's gamer, like Mr. Burkoff is. So
So very
Maybe one
quickly,
day.
other things you should play: Nintendogs.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Nintendo. That was on my list for animal games.
Jesus
Nintendo.
I still have my 3DS, so it's possible.
And on that note, I'm out.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
I appreciate your input.
We're still on the show though, so people don't go away. We're still here.
Those two listeners.
As soon as he hits the button to go away, we're still waiting for it.
Okay.
All right, it's gonna take me a quick second just to get our screens to look good again.
Transition back to the floor.
There we go. Well, I changed it, but I
Yeah,
also have to
Evan.
like fix the window because it's not correct.
Evan,
that was
I
pretty
think
quick.
you would like
I'm pretty smooth.
Diablo type games, Evan, if you had people to play it with, because it was very similar to Ghost of Tsushima in the point where if you're in a good group of people playing those games, they're a lot more fun. Playing them by themselves, I'm not really in for that life.
Yeah. Like I'll say that much, Dan.
Like because
Like with Ghost of Tsushima Legends, you're playing the same maps over and over. However, there's those emergent moments where we were in that one map and like you died and I had to run to save you, and then I died, you had to run to save me, and somehow we got through like the hardest section of it.
yeah.
Yeah, she's staring at Thomas. You're in the screen.
Everyone's like, damn it. Get that child off the screen.
Thomas.
Thomas,
Yeah.
hello. How old are you?
How old is
9
he?
months.
9 months.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even a year yet.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's almost there.
Yeah. Bye.
For our audio listeners, this will be very fascinating for them to hear the random woman that just says, "Oh, he's so cute." I do have one other game if we're on the dogs theme, Evan.
Sorry, she's going shopping. Anyways, dogs. Sure, I'm listening. Someone said dogs.
Well, let me someone else talk for a second, and then I want B-roll with it so you can see it on the
Well,
stream.
I want to jump back to the 2 Point Hospital
Okay.
discussion
All
that we were
right.
just
Oh, go
having.
ahead. Yeah,
So
convince me.
one of the developers on that is Mark Webley, who was one of the developers with Bullfrog Studios that worked
Yeah.
on Theme Hospital. So it is very much a spiritual successor to those games for sure.
I
loved
get
it as
it,
well.
and I totally get it. I like the wackiness. Don't get me wrong. I just think the wackiness, there's to a point where it just is almost, to me, it felt like, and it's supposed to feel out of control in some instances, but I felt like in ways I didn't know what to do anymore. Like, because they're so wacky that it's really hard to distinguish what do I need to fix this issue, and then allocating those resources. It just wasn't working the way I was hoping it would.
Well,
Research. Get your research center up off the ground. That's the key to
That's kinda-
in those harder levels, because then you can develop the
Hot
equipment
strats
you
from
need.
Dan.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the fun, but it's also like being older. I don't know how much I'm actually going to play it. The fact that it's on Game Pass and I can just launch it whenever.
mean,
Well, there you go.
I mean,
I would put an hour into this game
I'll admit,
if I had Game
played
Pass.
2
Right?
hours of it,
Yeah.
and then I stopped. At least I got my 2 hours worth. I was like, I understood what this game was, and I'm good. Like,
I'm hurt. I've put about 50 hours into this game.
Well, all right,
Wow.
so
Wow.
me at the age of what 12 when that
Yeah,
originally
when Theme Hospital came out, I must have been about 6 or 7, something like that. 7 or 8 on my PC.
I don't think I'm that much older than you, but
Oh.
yeah,
How old are you, Matt?
35.
Yeah, I'm 31. So 4 years, that would work. 11.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, 11 years old when that came out. Like infinite time to play those games. Today, not so much.
Yeah.
So I can see where Mitch is coming from, but at the same time, like yeah, like just, that's the charm and that's the fun is just trying different shit out and learning that I have to do this, in order to make these other things work.
And the reason why I loved it is because it was so many those little bits. It was different enough, but also similar tidbits to like what the original games were. So like I played until I at least got to the level where we could train doctors again and nurses and put them in the training centers, because that was like one of the when you got to the really hard levels of Theme Hospital. And Theme Hospital was tough bollocks hard. You literally, I like one of my friends completed it, but most of us got like to like level 6, and then our hospital would fail, and then you get walked back to the start again, and you try again to get through the levels. You play the same.
Oh, it's like a
level
roguelite.
It was like a road-like strategy game. It was insane.
I don't think
Whereas-
I don't think I've ever beaten it. No, yeah.
No, I don't think anyone's. Yeah, so
It's like Monopoly. No one plays a full game of Monopoly, but you have fun, right? You just you
do play
play
a
the
You
game, you
play
get
a
to
full
level
game
6.
in a Monopoly.
full
What are
game
you
of Monopoly,
talking
of course you
about?
do.
But
Dude,
anyways,
I don't think I've ever played a full game of Monopoly.
do you know
in my
what has
entire life. It's
charm?
like it's been 3 hours. Like let's just do something else. Fucking bored. Yeah.
You just
Hard
start
place,
giving your money
take
to
my
the
money.
other player, like whatever.
It's just I don't care
You
anymore.
worry me. No, I'm joking. The,
I'm a very
But-
I
But
don't.
with 2 Point
I-
Hospital, I think they realised that their
Amanda
first game,
Arnold.
or the guy's first game, was balls hard. So it actually isn't as hard. Like they give you
Okay.
enough that you
So they
can
tweaked it.
achieve enough stars to open up the other levels. And then obviously to get the really hot, like higher levels, you do need to go back and try and up your like stats to get the other stars to unlock further. But it's not like you fail your hospital in the whole game like restarts again. So it is a lot easier. So you can just like
Sure.
jump in for half an hour here, half an hour there. And that's what I do now. So like when I've got like half an hour, just switch it on, go back to one of the hospitals and just like have a play around for half an hour and then go on with my way.
I
a
love
good
how
stop
this
and start
whole
game.
discussion. I've been playing 101 Dalmatians, a B-roll in the background from the PlayStation 1 with Corella Deville.
Yeah.
I love
Oh my
it.
god.
And I said, I was gonna say, you know what has some charm, Evan? That you should play 101 Dalmatians for the PlayStation 1. And there's that.
Got
B-roll
101
for you.
dogs in it. How do
Yeah.
you
Adorable puppies.
how do you argue against that?
Yeah, look at that graphics. It's so adorable. How can you not play that?
I vaguely remember the cover. Yeah.
But all right, do we have any more things for Evan?
Let's think. I have got some more now.
Oh Jesus! More-
I just had one now. I've forgotten what it was.
More B-roll for me to think of.
Creating a bigger backlog for me.
Yeah, no.
I'm slowly chipping away because I don't have a PlayStation 5, so it's not like it's a nuisance.
Oh, Jurassic Evolution. Did you play that? Jurassic Park Evolution.
I mean, I'm
that
clicking
a
on
mobile
things
game?
and I'm building things and I'm waiting for things to be built. I don't know, man.
I see all that. I see all that. But if you ever got it to play for free, the best thing you can ever do in that game is get in your buggy as a ranger and drive around and like actually like drive in between the dinosaurs' legs. It was like amazing and immersive. Like maybe what you should do is maybe come to England. I'll load up my game and then just give you the controller to drive around the buggy for 5 minutes, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is cool," and then you never have it. Like for me, the reason why Tuber Hospital is such a big
frozen right
thing.
now?
You were for the last like 20 seconds, and we lost the stream, but got it back. So I have no idea what's gonna.
Oh, okay, but
You
Looks
all
like
were
we're live
frozen.
now. Yeah, looks like we're still live.
Tuber
Okay.
Hospital,
It came
Evan,
back,
for me
so-
was like kind of like the reason I liked it so much was because it was like theme hospital from like my childhood. That's why I love it.
I totally get that, and I'm glad
Whereas-
that from the
whereas
ashes of those old games that they came back and were able to give people like.
Whereas
I can't believe they're bringing this back. So in terms of like keeping like taking history as something that's hasn't been around for a while and bringing it back for
2
people to
Point
enjoy.
Campus, I'm
cool.
not. I might pick up on a sale, but I'm not going to buy it. Like I'll wait for like
Buy
a
a
year
Game
or two.
Pass.
Maybe it comes on Game Pass, yeah. But I like playing it handheld. I quite
You know
like
what?
playing it on my Switch, which is a
I
bit
still
weird
have
because of the
two-
controls, but I quite liked it.
All
I
right.
still have 2 weeks of summer vacation left. Maybe I'll stop by the big electronics store. Maybe they do have a bunch of Xboxes sitting there. Like no one's fucking buying them in Japan. Maybe they're just there, and I'll be like, fuck it. That'll be my Game Pass console, and I'll just wait for my PlayStation 5. We'll see. Maybe I'll play if I get an Xbox in the next 2 weeks. I'll play all the games you guys mentioned if they're on Game Pass.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
See what
to be
happens.
honest, Evan, you really only need to play one, and you can just buy it on your PlayStation already and save yourself hundreds of dollars. Just buy Hades. It's worth buying. So,
It is in Japan. Yeah.
To end it, what is the one game? If you had to play one of all the games we recommended, what is the one you will play?
It's got to be Russian Subway Dogs. That's almost. I mean, Mick Womble did his homework insofar as he typed in games about dogs and he found that gem. But I mean, that's like shooting a fish in the barrel, really. Like, can't really go. Hades is a close second. I would say Russian Subway Dogs is. I mean, how long is that game? Like 3 hours. That is an easy $5 buy or whatever it is. Play for 3 hours and have fun.
Little does he know when he looks at the price, it's like $25.
Oh god, yeah, that weird, like 20. You start.
The
pushing
Russians
20
really
for an
charge
indie
high
game,
costs
you're
for
kind of-
those games.
Yeah, I mean, even Axiom Verge 2 was 20. I was like, I don't want to wait.
It's $15, and How Long to Beat says it takes 20 hours to beat.
Wow.
20 hours? Fuck, man, I like dogs. I don't know if I like dogs that much. Fucking hell.
Hades
So
it
what
is.
are you doing in that subway?
I guess Hades
I don't know.
it is.
It only has one person that's clocked in their time, and it took them 20 hours.
I beat Dead Cells in less time than it's going to take to finish Russian Subway Dogs.
So if you beat it faster than 20 hours, you have to clock your time and how long to beat. So it at least averages out to be lower.
Yeah.
Time to get into the speedrunning game. See what I can do.
What I thought, Evan, is, to be honest, I haven't had my phone, so I didn't actually know what the topic was. But then when I came on and heard it was that, all of my suggestions are going to be a hard pass from Evan, as I know you now quite well when you're gaming selections. So I'm just going to...
It's a very small world I live in.
Yeah, there we go.
So
there's games that we'll both enjoy, Evan, but mostly you'll play games that I don't play, and I'll play games that you don't play. And there's a tiny little overlap in the middle.
So we will just
I
accept...
suppose there's yeah, like I played Witcher 3, Resident Evil Village,
You played Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2.
Yeah, so we'll just
Got all the good
accept
stuff, yeah.
Hades as his answer after hearing how much Russian Dogs was for the clock time he's
I
got
am
to
not
put in.
I am not kidding, Mitch. Hearing that it takes 20 hours has bumped it down to number 2. I am not even fucking kidding. That is too much time to spend in the Russian subway.
I can't wait for Keith to go back and listen
dog
to.
or human.
I can't wait for Keith to go back and listen to your decision and how it drastically changed with that one piece of evidence.
It's like an M Night Shyamalan movie, man.
I wonder
What a twist.
I wonder if Keith knew that and left it out on purpose just so he could have his pick be chosen.
I don't think so. I think he just he wanted to play it and he wanted somebody else to play it with.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too.
If I were him and I saw that piece of information,
He-
I would
he
totally
might be like,
withhold
"Fuck
it
it."
from the argument. It's like, he doesn't need to know that.
Well, and I'm gonna say that's our show. Weirdly, like right before I count it, because Burkoff and I hopped on this Zoom call before. It was technically Friday the 13th, so I blame that on for everything that's happened technical difficulty wise today in regards to the stream. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. But anyway, thank you for listening to us. We're Pixel Pints. If you want to find us and a cute little Thomas on Pixel Pints, you can go to us on Pixel Pints on Twitch. We stream there live each and every single weekend. If you want to know what time we're streaming, just follow us on Twitter, which we're at Pixel. Oh my gosh. Pixel_Pints. And if you find us on Instagram, you can find us at Pixel Pints Pod. Yes. Yeah. And then if you want to find us on YouTube, we archive all our episodes, not only on Twitch, but they're also archived on YouTube. We're just at Pixel Pints for those. And if you want to find us on any other streaming services, we are wherever you get your podcasts, which is just look up Pixel Pints. You'll find a little Pixel Pint. Full of pixels are foaming out of the pint glass, and that is the one to look for. It's green. I know I've had some friends that are confused on which one it is, so I think describing what the app looks like, describing what the picture looks like helps the people out there. So like it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. We'd love to see more people get interacting with us. We're definitely going to do more stuff. Burkoff and I have talked about possibly doing some streaming just on our spare time, just to like do more things on the channel. Dan has not done his adventures, so we're still waiting to see where his Captain Shepard is. Actually, Dan,
Yes.
where's the what's status of Shepard for you?
I haven't picked up that game for about 2 months.
Oh,
I did that streaming, and then I forgot to go onto Twitch and rip it to then upload it. So then I lost it, so I became very disheartened by the whole thing.
Just start from where you're at, man.
Yeah, no, I will. No, it's just mainly time. I haven't picked up a console for about 6 to 8 weeks. I've been so busy with work, the wind down of like the term, leaving my old school, getting ready to go to my new school, and then I've like had a 2-week holiday away, and then next week I've got a week away with summer school for the school I'm just leaving. So then hopefully I have a week after that where I can pick up my controller and start playing. I'm a bit happier that Kenna got pushed, because I would be dying that I wouldn't be able to have played it yet. I think it was supposed to come out today, actually, 14th of August.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out today, yep.
Yeah, so the fact it's been pushed is a good thing, because I've got no time to play at the moment anyway. But when I do get a spare moment, I will jump back onto Mass Effect. I am on the first game still. I've only played about 8 hours, maybe 5 hours.
It wasn't very long.
Yeah. I played a bit off stream, so maybe 5 to 6 hours. I don't know. But yeah, so I need to jump back on that.
All right.
I'm not as quick as Erebus Jones, who's like finished all 3 probably already, because he like updated us.
Well,
I don't know how he finds the time, but there we go.
Well, you can find us all there, and until next time, what is it, Burkoff? What do we say?
Well, next time.
Do we have a closing statement? I'm not.
I don't know if
play
we do.
Axiom Verge 2.
What do you
I think
say,
that's what
Burkoff,
we
every
say.
single time?
Now that I know we're out.
Yeah.
Drive fast, take chances.
Oh man. So the one thing that I will say, the whole episode was about trying to get Evan to play games, and everybody was all hyped on Hades. I do have to say that Hades does suffer from some of that roguelike shit. Like I would much rather have a map and solid linear progression